Abby, and this is Rachel, my sous chef, and this is Katie.
Hello.
Today we are going to make guacamole. Now, first you want to take an avocado and very carefully make a little insert right here. Make a little line and put like a circle around the guacamole. Or not the guacamole, the avocado. Then, once you've got it all the way around, like this, so you can see a little line, you twist it, and it comes right out. Now let's wait for Katie to finish up doing that. Twist. Good. Now, if you have any pieces of skin, like right there, you just want to... Okay. So, to get the pit out, it's kind of tricky. Either you use an adult to take a knife and go like that, but if you're like a child, take a spoon and try to scoop it out. Like that. And then you just find a little bowl and you get the insides out of the avocado and you put them into the bowl. Is that okay? Thank you for catching our fall. Make sure you get everything out of there and into that bowl. Okay. Then when you're done with the peel, make sure you have a garbage can nearby. See? Empty peel. And you take it and you in the trash. And make sure you do both sides of the guacamole. Or both sides of the avocado. Now, depending on how many people you're serving, you have to decide on how many avocados you're going to use. So, if you're making it for 5 people, then, and you all really like guacamole, I would advise in using at the most 4 avocados, just to make sure you have enough, and then it'll save probably for a day. So you can have it for lunch the next day if you want.
There's 4 of us and there's 4 avocados because 2 plus 3 is 4.
Okay. Now we're going to quickly do the other avocados. And make sure you don't get your fingers caught too. You have to be very careful and cautious.
What does cautious mean?
Okay? And it might get a little off balance. Just make sure when you can see the beginning of the line, you match it up. So you twist and separate. What happened? Okay, we're just gonna scoop that. Oh, and you want to make sure you have like a masher or hands or spoon. It doesn't really matter. A masher works best. So after you get the avocados, excuse me, I'm sorry, the avocados in the bowl, you can like mash them up. Or once you have most of the ingredients in the bowl, you can mash them up so it makes guacamole, because otherwise it would look like this, like chunks, and that's technically not guacamole. Make sure you have a towel handy because you might get a little messy. Now, just to be fun, we are going to this time, since we have such big chunks here, we're going to use our hands and just break them apart. Yeah. Just grab some and just take it in your hand and squeeze it. Now make sure you wash your hands before you start and after you squeeze the avocados, because then it's all disgusting and it's not sanitary. And it's very fun, especially for little kids. Alright, I think that's good. We can have some lumps. Now make sure you get as much off your fingers as possible so you have more to serve. And it's really hard to get it off, I'm just telling you.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, move on to the tomato. Oh, and you want to rinse your knives off too.
Hi, Daddy.
Don't put your hand on that. if you like tomatoes or not. We're going to use a whole tomato since we have a small one and a lot of people. So let's just get this in half so we can each do a little part. Now, you want to cut the tomato, you want to cut the front part off where this thing is. I don't know what it's called. Stem. And then you're going to cut them in little pieces like this, and we're not going to put them in like this, we'll chop them up. So you make them, and make sure you're holding it so you can't get your fingers. Okay, and when you get to the end, just cut it in half for safety's sake. And then you can kind of squish it and go like that. Okay, now we have giant pieces like that, and that won't work. So, you're going to take them and cut them in little chunks, like this, in little strips. As Katie is doing. And if you get little pieces like this that's just like seed in the inside, just put it with the stem and you don't have to use it. Because I know that some people don't necessarily like the stem. And so this is the size you want it to be, like that. And eventually, we'll split some of these to make sure they're the right size. Make sure you're very careful. Hey, look at her. Okay, and then when you're done, you put them right in the bowl. There you go. And then it's time to move on to the next ingredient once I get mine cut. Hold on. Okay. Rach, can you put the rest of those in for me?
Yeah.
Okay, and then since it's not really messy, you can just wipe your hands off. Now, once you're done with the tomato and the avocado, like every 2 ingredients, you kind of want to wipe down your board or space so you don't have, ickies. Ow. Okay. Now we're going to do the onion. Now, I suggest that you don't do this if you cry a lot, because acid from onions rises up into the air and makes you cry.
I gave up. I had to have an adult help me. I'm very sensitive to...
Okay, so now we just have them in little slices like this, and now we are going to mince them, which means very small, thin pieces. And it's okay if they fall apart like that. Okay, you want them to be diced like that. Okay, each of us is going to do 2 of these little things. And then, depending on how much your family likes onions, you can put however much. I don't really like onions that much, and you add what you think is going to be good. So Katie, is that still your first one?
This is my second.
Okay. And if you need to, after you're done cutting them like this, just take a sec, cool yourself like I'm doing right now. Go ahead. It's hard to do that. Hurts your eyes. Okay, and then just put it on in there. See, I only did 2, and we already have that, and so it's actually a lot. Here you go. And then I am going to get a container, and I'm going to put the onion plop in the container. Okay. Shoot. Rachie, can you get me the garlic and the lime, please? So you see this? It looks like a little flower thing, okay? You take one of the little patch thingies, or whatever they're called, and you rip it off. Okay, and you make sure you get all that hard shell off of it so it's soft. See, I'm squeezing it, okay? Can you please go put this back? Garbage. Okay. Then you cut the little ends off. A smaller knife. Okay? And you take it, and you just push down. That didn't really work. And then you just, like I said, you like mince it. You take the knife, you want it really thin and small, so you won't be able to tell that it's there. And if you're only doing 2 avocados, then you might want to do just like half of the garlic, because it's actually a lot. It's got a lot of strong flavor. Okay, now we're going to do the lime. I also suggest parental help on this too, unless you have a lime squeezer. You just cut it in half, watching so no squirts come out, because when this gets in your eyes, not a pretty sight. Katie, would you like to help me with the lime? Would you like to squeeze it?
Sure.
Okay. Let me just very carefully take my time, cut it in half. Watch your eyes. Back away. Beep beep. Over the bowl. Put it down here. Watch your eyes and cover. Are you getting anything?
Mm-hmm. They're quite tough.
Yeah, we picked a tough one. Okay, you want to always cover over your eyes or someone else if they're next to you. Like that. Right there. It doesn't matter if it sprays out that way if no one is over there. Okay, I think we're good. I can see the juice.
Can you get a plastic bag?
Okay. Now we are going to add some actually very important elements. We are going to add salt and pepper. Now, it's kind of like a process, a trial and error. So you just put in a little bit of one, and then Katie will put in a little bit of the other. That's okay. And then you just stir it around. And if there's any chunks, you can just get them up with the spoon. Okay? I think that should be good. Now, when you think it should be good, you take your favorite kind of chips. One for everyone. Dip. Find some of one,
everything.
2, 3. And this was Cooking for Kids with Abby, Rachel, and Katie. See you next time.